What is good? Welcome back to my IGTV and happy spring to you. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited that the warmer weather is approaching. I can feel it with every single passing day as the degrees climb up bit by bit. We're putting away the protective hairstyles for now. We're experimenting and we're exploring all the different ways that we can style our natural hair. Over the past decade, I would say, the natural hair community has really been growing and blossoming, and in South Africa in particular, I would say over the past couple of years, there's been an exponential burst of more natties really taking up space and showing us their fabulous selves. And I really love that, because especially when it comes to trends, often we're kind of waiting for permission to do certain looks with our hair. But I think it's time that we DIY our own tables, pull up a chair, and have this conversation between ourselves. So welcome to my trend report presented by My Natural Hair for 2020 and 2021. Now, hair can just be hair, but I do believe that for many of us, it's a way to express ourselves. It's a way to establish our individuality and explore our identity just a little bit more. With the surge of the natural hair community, I truly love that education has taken the driver's seat. So with edge controller and natural oils in hand, we've been figuring it out ever since. From waves to kinks to coils and curls, our range really is endless. The limit does not exist. We're just not restricted by wash and goes anymore. So let's find out what's been trending. So as a 90s baby, I've been reveling in the 90s trend that's on the rise right now. If I think about that decade, I'm seeing Nia Long with her pixie cut short hair. I definitely am seeing Brandy as Moesha with her micro braids. And in terms of accessories, I'm seeing a lot of bubbles and bandanas. Now, the thing that I love most about history repeating itself is that we can take a trend, flip it and reverse it, and make it relevant to the times that we're living in right now. So for example, with the micro braids, I've been seeing a lot of people do knotless braids, which is a zero tension hairstyle, so your hairline will be in check. And when it comes to bandanas, I've been seeing loads of curly girls rocking this, which I love, because it's no longer limited to Jennifer Aniston and her buddies. We can all participate and look fabulous with this trend. Now let's zoom into South Africa. I've really been noticing a delve into one's heritage and sort of representing that in terms of your hairstyles and your hair choices. I've been seeing beaded bobs and also the adornment of afro puffs and braids. I've also seen the work of a couple of incredible hairstylists who've been experimenting with different patterns when it comes to braiding your hair. Now, of course, we know this isn't anything new. If you needed a history lesson, you've come to the right place. Before colonialism stripped us all of our really rich heritage, men and women alike would wear these hairstyles as a signifier of their social status. It could also symbolize your age, your wealth status, your marital status, as well as your religious beliefs. And for some, it was just a way to adorn themselves. Now, after colonialism, when many stages of stripping one's identity took place, you had colonizers literally shaving the heads of slaves so that they would take away their identity. In later years, it was made law and common practice that black women would have to cover their hair with turbans and scarves. And then when we talk about cornrows, even the plaiting and the distinct patterns were intentional. Because food was a scarce resource, rice grains were stored in between the plaits. Different hair patterns would actually also be maps as an escape from the captors during slavery. There really is such rich heritage to many of the hairstyles that we just casually don on a day-to-day basis today. Bantu knots are another way to celebrate one's heritage. And what I really love about cornrows and Bantu knots is that although they're protective hairstyles and usually worn indoors, it's been a big move of moving away from the discreetness of it and just rocking it out as you should. So from the 90s trend to celebrating our heritage, I've also been seeing a lot of playful naturals doing their thing. As we enter into spring summer, I really love the resurgence of florals and flowers being incorporated into looks. Anything from lavender sprigs being placed into your hair very delicately to really big statement pieces of flower crowns that are bigger than life. Using what you can find in nature, what you may be able to DIY yourself, or perhaps purchase at a store, don't let anyone stop you go. There really is something for everyone depending on how deeply you want to delve into this trend. You could pick some lavender or grab some baby breath flowers and just put it in your hair to add more of a feminine and dainty look. Alternatively, you can just throw yourself into this. Go big or go home and wear huge hair accessories that have a nod to nature. I just really love our hair accessories can add dimension to your look. You could go for a minimal outfit, you know, your classic summer dress, wear a fresh face, but then really go ham when it comes to your hair. You can really create anything to add more emphasis, oomph, and je ne sais quoi to your hair. When it comes to the materials and the hardware of the accessories you're gonna use, I'm seeing a lot of nature incorporated with style. So you'll have gold jewelry, sometimes even silver, but then you would have the natural element of pearls. Or you can have some shells with a pattern of tortoise shell present, and that kind of gives a nod to nature. And the best part, especially if you're a low maintenance natty, is that they are so simple to do. Like this hairstyle today, you know, just split my hair down the middle, add some clips on either side, and they're not even matching. We love some asymmetry. Fluff out your hair, and there you have it. Now, one trend that has my heart, and I'm pretty sure that if you've been following me on Instagram for a minute now, you would notice, and this comes as no surprise, is decorative baby hairs. Now, this is an extension of the 90s trend and a bandwagon I 100% jumped onto. In fact, I took the wheel and I drove it all the way home. There are so many ways that you could interpret this trend. You could either just pull your baby hairs out and swish them to the side and slick them back with a bit of gel, or you could be an artist about it and get a bit creative. I'm definitely a fan of the latter, I'm not gonna lie, and I really love the way that you can manipulate it so that it kind of has twists and curls and turns all the way down the sides of your face or even your forehead. Better yet, when you can embellish them with stones, it just takes the look from about here to here. I'm also really feeling this wave of people not being restricted by their hair. If there's anything that I'm really loving about the natural hair movement at the moment, is that we're prioritizing choice. The narrative of only being qualified in the community if you have long 3C type curled hair, the convention that of course is perpetuated by advertising and media, it's just kind of tired, it's archaic, it's boring. What's even more exciting for me is celebrating our uniqueness, our individuality. So whether you decide to go completely bald, whether you decide to go geometric with your hair and rock a nutty madida, or if you decide to just let your hair go wild and rock a fro, or even allow it to freeform into dreadlocks, if you'd like to experiment with faux locks, if you want to shave half your hair, if you want to braid it in a million different colors, or if you'd like to stick to the classic traditional type of looks, there's space for all of us.